Tony.
You know me. Tony, I am the Connect Guidry.
It's your boy Kingpin, a.k.a. Rapjuggernaut. Episode 5. The Nickel.
The Nickel.
5. That's good. That's a great number. I like the 5.
We're talking about the forbidden topic today.
Oh, my goodness. What are we talking about, OG? We're talking about
radio
spins. Of course. That was not timed either. That was not planned or orchestrated. We know the unforbidden topic is radio spin. It's a lot of PDs and a lot of MDs that may watch this. And shout out to all of those guys that I respect. The Bo Moneys of the world, the DJ Freshes of the world, the Greg Streets of the world, the Ferrari Simmons of the world, the J1s from Pandora's, the guys that globally program platforms. Shout out to all of those guys.
Salute all of them.
Because they have a big, tough job ahead of them.
Man, guys like Street, Bankhead, and I don't want to say no names.
Right.
Like, guys chase them down to get them money to play the song on the radio.
And chase them down to give them records that shouldn't be on the radio.
Definitely that. And
give them records that aren't formatted for radio.
And these guys have the grace and the patience to sort through these songs and select certain songs and actually get them on the radar and move it.
Yeah.
And so the topic of radio now is it's several different radio.
Well, can we say this first?
Hold on, my bad.
Getting a record on radio is not a medium to break records. Getting a record on radio is to sell records.
Explain to me what breaking a record is one time.
Well, breaking a record can vary from field in the music business. But in the radio terms, we're talking about breaking a record, introducing it to the masses and getting it out to people. There's a way to do that with mix show, okay? But this is typically a record or an artist that has a moment or has some type of positive reaction in their market, and then they've gone to see someone to help them get it to the other PDs and things of that nature. Make no mistake about it, OG. PDs and MDs, they talk in this business. It's a very small fraternity of men and women, and they have a great relationship with each other. And I think that not knowing what the radio platform is for is one of the biggest reasons why artists don't get spins on radio or other platforms. Whether it's satellite radio, whether it's internet streaming, live streaming, on social media, Twitch DJs, YouTube DJs, there are just so many different mediums that artists eliminate themselves from being able to use by not kind of crossing all of their T's and dotting all of their I's.
And then we got those artists who don't make music for DJs to play.
Right.
We got those artists who they don't make music for public settings or for. And then that's where the kind of the Twitch guys come in. I heard a K-Dot mix with some Amapiano.
I bet you that was hard.
Dope.
Yeah.
And so this is where you got to find your niche, work to find your niche. So we're talking about radio spins, right?
Right.
And we're going to start with FM radios. We're going to start with Sirius. We're going to start with internet radio.
Let's start with the basics. I want to get a song on radio, OG.
Okay.
I'm coming to you.
On FM radio.
I'm coming to you, Art Rev Soul. I signed up on the website. I got me a consultation. All right. And I'm paid my money. And you're telling me that you're willing to talk to me and we just happen to have the camera on. All right. So I'm coming to you right now. Don't give me all the details if you don't have to. You don't have to be super focused down to the head of every step.
First, let me ask you.
I want to get on the radio.
You want to get on the radio?
More than anything.
What song you want to get on the radio?
This song I'm working on right now, it's amazing. I recorded it. Everybody that listens to it, I haven't put it out. I haven't put it out anywhere. But everybody that I play it for, when I go to the studios, when I go to anywhere, when I go to family functions, when I jump in the car with people, they ask me, what is that? They like this record. I want to get this record on radio, man. What do I need to do?
So you're telling me you want to drop the record straight to the radio as soon as it comes
First thing I want to do, I want to get this record. I want to get it up and out. How do I get it on the radio, OG?
What's your track record, brother?
I've never put out a record before, OG. This is my first one.
It's going to be expensive.
Okay.
And it's going to take some time.
Okay.
All right. That's the first thing
I'm cool with both of those. Okay. I just want to know what I got to do. What's the first step?
Since it's you know that I could just say, okay, such and such, I got a live one.
Right.
He got his bread. Bring me 50,000 right quick, bro.
Right.
To get you started.
Right.
Then I'm gonna introduce you to some folk that's gonna get your record mixed and mastered and all that. That's gonna cost another about $5,000. You got your cover art done?
Right. Yeah. Well, no, I don't. I don't.
Paid your producer and got your producer agreement.
It's a YouTube beat.
Bring me 60,000.
Okay.
All right. That's what normally happens in the music business.
Right. It's a YouTube beat. I don't have any paperwork for it.
That's where
I recorded it. I don't have artwork. I don't have anything.
that's where your desire and our purpose may not be in congruence. Because I would want to run for you a successful
radio campaign. I like it.
For me and the artists and the investors that I work with,
right?
I just got a couple of rules before we go spend this $50,000 at radio. It's gonna cost us $20,000 to test it. But the radio, you don't got to pay to be on it. You don't got to pay to be on the radio.
You do not have to pay to be on the radio.
You don't got to pay to be on the radio. You need a relationship with the person who programs the radio. That's not easy to get.
Right.
There are people who make a living from their relationship.
Right, liaisons.
Yes, radio promoters.
Right.
And you pay this radio promoter a certain amount of money, and then he goes and does his woody whoopty whoop, and your song starts playing on the radio.
And not to diminish the role of a radio promoter or a record promoter.
Ever.
You know, because all of those guys play an intricate role. A lot of these radio promoters have been building these relationships with radio DJs and mix show DJs for 10, 15, 20 years.
And so, and with that, the radio promoter doesn't also just get your song played on the radio.
Right.
He arranges you to come into the market, meet the program director, meet the on-air jocks who playing your record.
That's why I want to get on the radio. Now you're talking my language. Now I get to go to the cities and sit down on the radio stations and talk to the people.
We got a whole bunch of work to do.
All right.
Before we get to that part.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Can I say real quick, can I get him the PlayStation analogy?
Please.
The music business is like the music industry.
My wife suggested we use this too. It's so funny. Come on with it.
It's like the PlayStation analogy. The PlayStation analogy is, if I want to play this man right now today, we're going to play some Madden. We're going to play one-on-one in Madden. So I leave and I go to the store and I get the PS5 and I come back. Let's play Madden, bro.
What about remote control?
Open up the box.
Right.
There's one controller here. How we going to play?
Yeah, I need remote control.
Oh,
so now you got to go back and get
I'm going to go back to the store.
Okay, bet.
I'm going to get another remote control.
Right.
Now we got 2 remote controls. We're ready to play. We don't got Madden.
I thought you had Madden. You didn't buy Madden when you bought the game?
I didn't know.
Okay.
So,
right, so you're going to go back and get Madden?
Yeah, I'll go back to the store. I buy Madden.
All right.
Okay, cool. Now I got the game. We got 2 controllers.
Bob.
It's time to play.
Rest.
What's the Wi-Fi?
Oh, man, I don't know if we have Wi-Fi.
If we don't got Wi-Fi, we can't log into the PlayStation network to get the latest updates on the game.
Right.
That's what it's saying on the screen right now.
Okay.
It says log into the PlayStation network. So now we need a credit card.
Right. So there's a lot of things they don't tell you need next
the lady
to go get it.
The lady at the store who sold me each item, she don't know what I'm trying to do. She don't know what I got at home. She don't know my knowledge level of the game. She's selling me what I asked for. That's what happens in the music industry. You want radio play? Cool. Okay, it won't take 50,000. Bring me 20. Get you some mix show. And I'll get you put in some markets. Oh, you don't got 20? Give me 10. I'll get you straight. I'll introduce you to
I think most people don't understand the progression of a radio campaign, first of all.
Well, so
mix show is where it starts off.
Before we even get to that,
right?
I apologize.
Yes, let's not get all the way there. I got a record. I need to get 60,000 because I don't own the beat. I got to get my cover done right now. So I got to get my cover done. I got to get 60 grand up. And
okay, so before
should I need a clean record to get on the radio, OG?
You definitely need a clean record. Before we even get to your record that you want on the radio,
okay,
we're going to set up a plan strategically to situate your favorite song to go on the radio.
Okay.
So first we're going to release 3 songs.
Okay.
Do you have 3 songs done?
No, but I can make them though. I've been writing music forever. I can go to the studio, whatever. My partner let me record at the studio for $20.
Okay, so a lot of marketers disagree with this, but this is what I would like to do with you.
Okay.
We're going to drop 3 songs.
All right.
The reason we're going to drop those 3 songs is so that we can claim and optimize every one of your profiles.
I like what you're talking because this is about that plan you was talking about on the last episode. I've been watching y'all for a minute. That's really why I want to spend my money with y'all, man, because y'all really sound like y'all know what y'all got going on. All right, so I'm going to take the plan from the last episode, and you're going to tell me we're going to start with 3 records first.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, come on with it.
Then, the 4th record will be your key record.
Boom.
So,
what does that mean?
That's the record that you want on the radio.
Okay.
Okay.
So this one that I got right now that I know is the radio banger, we're going to tuck this one away for the 4th record.
No, we're not.
I got to go in here and record 3 bangers right now in the meantime to get the streets warmed up is what you're saying.
Yes, I need your radio record too, clean version. I need 9 versions of your record.
9.
I will send you an email. It explains to you I need the acapella.
Right.
I need the clean, the explicit. I need the clean acapella.
Right.
I need the DJ version with the 8-bar intro.
Right.
For the radio.
Right. Clean and dirty then, huh?
Yes, clean and dirty. Then I
What about the instrumental?
Hold on.
Okay.
I need the instrumental.
Okay.
Then I need your show version. Without your main lyrics that you're going to perform.
Show version.
Yeah, a show version that you're going to perform. It's a performance version.
Okay, so I'm going to get booked too then. I'm going to go perform in people's stages?
You're committing to this plan and you have the money.
Right.
Once we get to the radio phase.
Right.
And we start interacting. And this is why we're going to drop 3 songs.
Okay.
While we're dropping the songs and all these things are happening like we talked about in the plan.
Right.
You're going to be outside.
Boom, moving around.
Meeting people, interacting with people. Because it's all based on you and the artist you're working with.
Now, this ain't got nothing to do with that 60 you told me I had to bring to you.
That's
separate.
Right now, in the beginning, when we get started, it won't cost you anywhere near 60.
Okay, so that 60 I'm going to need by record 4.
I would prefer if you paid the whole 60. Because I know that it's going to cost over $100,000 if this record works. What does that mean? That means we're going to spend the first $50,000, $60,000 on phase 1. Then in 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to owe another $50,000 to $60,000 on phase 1B. Then if the record is working after 10 to 12 weeks, we're going to have to spend another $40,000 to $50,000 on phase 2. If the record is still working by this time, when we've spent $150,000, now it's time to work the magic and call in the wizard.
Right.
I won't say his name.
Right.
The radio promoters know who he is.
Right.
If we can make our way to the wizard,
right,
we're going to need another $30,000, $40,000 for the wizard.
So basically what you're saying is the first part of the radio campaign, we tested the record. We testing to see if the people like it, if the DJs can fit it in, if it fits the mood and the climate of what they got going on.
I'm gonna give you the whole drip since you seem like you're serious.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Your first song, since it's ready, I'm going to need all of the information, all of the versions. Because as soon as you make your first payment to Art Rev Soul, you pay this consultation fee and this setup fee to get you onboarded, to get you all of your profiles claimed and optimized.
Yeah.
That's going to take releases of music.
Okay.
I can't just go in and say, hey, my partner Mark is Mark the artist.
Right.
And claim your Apple profile
right.
without some music out.
Okay.
So that means I can't pitch your first song.
Right.
To Apple until you have some type of music out in the track list.
Right. Yeah, because I ain't got no music out right now. G, you sure right.
So, boom. So, we're going to get, on my end, I'm going to send out your key record, your radio record. I'm going to send it out just to social media while we're releasing the first 3 records.
I be heavy on Instagram, too. I like it.
So, boom. So,
I like it.
By the time your 4th record drops in August, it'll have some traction on social media. As long as you heavy on Instagram,
right?
I'm gonna need you a little TikTok too. I'm not trying to make you no TikTok.
Man, what about them people that be doing them dances on TikTok, man? We can't loop them people in.
We can loop them in.
I don't be doing no dancing, OG. Be honest with you. Tony, my bad, bro. I don't be doing no dancing, Tony.
We can slide.
I don't be wearing no wigs and telling no jokes either. I'm a real, you know.
We keep it authentic. If you was a wig wearing guy,
nah, I don't do that.
Then wear wigs. But
I don't do that. I don't tell no jokes.
Okay.
I really don't even much like talking to people. That's why I really don't be posting on social media like that. I be on Instagram
heavy on Instagram.
I be watching on Instagram heavy, OG. I be trying to Tony. I be trying to peep what other people got going on. You know, sometimes I be liking when they be catching my attention, but you know, most time people don't be really posting nothing.
Okay, bro. Look, bro.
I be seeing stuff from 5 days ago.
So
or whatnot,
you don't really
man.
know how to use Instagram.
I don't know how to use none of this, man. I'm just being real with you, bro. I got a record. Them folks say it's hot. Okay. I need to get it to the street, bro. I need to drop it ASAP. And you telling me now I can't, which I'm cool with.
I'm not telling you can't.
No, see, I heard what you said. You said I need to save this one.
We put the plan together.
Right.
So that they know and have an idea about who you are, what you about.
That's what I'm saying
first
to
3
you.
songs for. So that when we drop the 4th song.
Right.
And we pushing the 4th song.
Boom.
We're going to have 2 more songs after that now.
Okay.
A 5th and a 6th song.
Yeah.
You cool with going outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love
you cool?
being in
You
the
say
streets,
you don't
man,
really like
man.
people.
Listen,
You say you don't like people.
I'm in the streets like yellow lions, baby. I'm out here. I love being out here. I just don't like being around people.
Yeah, you're going to have to find a little friendliness in you, though, bro.
I'm open to it, man. I'm coachable now.
Bro.
I'm coachable.
Okay,
I'm coachable. Yeah, I'm coachable. Now I'm willing to do what it takes.
Okay, boom. So we're going to we got our plan. We're putting it together. Just
right.
In theory.
Right.
You've already heard it. So it's 6 months carrying us through December. But we got our song in here. We're not going to spend a whole bunch of money leading up to the song, but we're going to be outside. We're going to go to touch a few platforms, do some mic performances, some interviews that might cost you a couple dollars here and there. You know,
Right.
The guys who have sizable platforms, they normally charge you to get on their platform until you have some motion.
Right.
But we go in early and we touch them with just a piece of that 60 to get in the room, shake their hand, let them know that you're serious.
Right.
You're going to be doing this for a minute.
I'll be back.
Around. Yeah.
I'm coming back.
You follow me? And then the list of them, since you be on Instagram so much, you tell me the list that you want to rock with. We're going to spend the money on your song that you believe that's so amazing.
Right.
Based on the progress of the song.
Okay.
So we're going to start with some seed money that we're going to put together early.
Right.
Prepping for the song.
All right.
Okay, we do the smaller platforms leading up. But when your big record comes out, we go all big. New York press run. We do the whole 9 yards. It's going to cost you a little bread.
Right.
This before we go to the radio.
Yeah.
We're going to meet a whole bunch of people that can put us on the radio when we're doing these PR runs.
Right.
And then based on how the song is reacting.
Right.
Because maybe the people really mess with the second song.
Right.
Maybe they mess with the first song 2-3 months later. Based on what's going on in the middle of our cycle with your bankroll,
right?
That's how we decide if we go into the radio and win. Because you got 60. It's going to cost a quarter ticket to win at radio. Don't let nobody tell you no difference. We can take a gamble at radio with a dub, play a little game, catch a few cities, go meet a few girls in some different cities. It won't really guarantee to make us no money. See, when the folks sleep on you,
right,
that's when you make more noise.
Yeah. Wake them up.
Yeah.
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 All
You make so much noise where they come outside and say, who is that?
All right, so I need a record.
Yeah.
The radio record, I need 9 versions.
Yeah.
I need a couple records to drop in the meantime to get myself warmed up.
I'll explain it to you.
I got a good license, and we're going to need that because we're going to have to drive around and go to some of these cities and reach out to some of these folks. So really, truth be told, I shouldn't even be thinking about radio right now. That's the best way to get on radio is not even to think about it right now. Start kind of get my name in the streets first. And then once I get my name in the streets, I got enough stain with the DJs and enough people around the way, then I can go out there and start trying to make sure that they help me reach the people. Because once they get on radio, it sounds like I'm going to need their help.
You're going to need everybody. Once you on radio, that's when all of the extra work starts.
Yeah.
You got to pay to go to the cities. You're going to need a cameraman with you everywhere you go.
Right.
Then you might have to perform.
Right.
So you might have to bring a DJ with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You got a manager for your business and everything, a social media person. You going to have security or you tote your own file. Along the lines, you're going to learn, bro. And you're going to see who's actually doing something, who's talk and not action. But most of the people who are able to help you reach more people,
right?
They serious about their business.
Yeah. I know I got to have some money. How much, we don't just know yet, but we know it's going to cost some. May cost a little, may cost a lot, but we know it's going to cost.
At artrevsoul.com, we got the Artist Academy. And at the Artist Academy, we can explain to you the pieces that have to be done better than we can on the podcast. This is free game.
Your record has to be ready for radio. It has to be a radio formatted record. And you should be knowing what radio stations you want to have your record pitched to, what formats those radio stations are, and then you'll want to dive into who is at those radio stations, and that could be done through a simple Google search. So if you guys watched the first episode, when we gave you guys the checklist for the festivals and touring optimization, one of the things that's on the checklist is the DJ information. And as a matter of fact, I think we have 2 or 3 pages dedicated to DJ connections, right, inside of the master document that is available once they sign up for the Academy. And the reason I'm saying that, and these are all extreme examples that we deal with on a regular basis. We've had situations where we had an artist invite us to the studio and was sitting there and was talking to us about a record that they had just finished recording and what they were going to do with it, and they were going to go to radio. This is a conversation we're having real time in the studio. Okay, we're going to do this. And I walked out into the hallway to get something and walked back in, and the radio promoter was in the room. And I was like, man, OG, but when did you sneak in here? Like, oh, what's happening, man? Like, we were just talking about you. Look how left field it caught me off guard. I didn't even peep the move until it was all done. So I'm like, oh, okay, OG, I see you in the building, man, blase, squaze. So somebody had called for Uber Eats or something. I got it, man. Y'all go handle business. I walk outside. I go to grab the food. I come back inside. I give everybody stuff there. I pass it all out. I go to sit down. I look up. Where the OG at? OG done caught the money and then caught an Uber and left. He didn't even drive his car to the studio. He caught an Uber to the studio, picked up
I was
35,000,
there.
called the Uber, and drove off into the
was there.
sunset.
I was there. I remember. I was there.
We've had those type of stories when it comes to radio campaigns, right? When we had artists making premature decisions, artists making emotional decisions with their records or their campaigns, you know, and I say all of that to say is that most times, one of the things that's stopping you from getting spins is that your record hasn't been mixed or mastered properly. Let's talk about it, because there are DJs that use software that'll tell them the quality of the music. There are DJs that have an ear that could listen to it and be like, that's not mixed and mastered, right? I can't put that in my set. Some of these DJs, the ones that you want to DJ your music and put it in their sets at these platforms, they're not going to put a record that does not meet the quality standard. So if you can get past the quality standard, then you got to get the initial relationship. And that comes with reaching out to these DJs, reaching out to these platforms, reaching out to record pools, getting on DJ conference calls, talking to the DJs, recording DJ drops, liking and sharing DJ comments, asking them to get on their playlist. I'll tell you what, man, the first time that you guys get serious about your business and treat a relationship with a DJ as a potential business connection, and you nurture that, then you guys are going to start to see the fruits of your hard work pay off. You're going to start to see that they may include a song. Don't expect no DJ in the world to like every record that you put out. Just remove that from the equation, okay? Don't expect every DJ to support every record that you put out. That's out of the equation. Most DJs, and if I'm wrong, DJs, let me know in the comments. For a DJ to introduce 2 to 3 new records in their set, in their particular block in the club, if they're one of these DJs that are a closer or an opener or a feature DJ or a guest DJ, for them to sacrifice 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes of their set for introducing a record that may not react, that's risky. That could be the difference between them not getting booked at another club or booked again with this promoter. Now, I know a lot of DJs that'll take that chance, and DJs like Big Up, for example, that you mentioned his name, and shout out to DJ Kool-Aid or Sapavelli or Hollywood Shane or any of these guys, Benny Boom, DJ Meat. These are all guys that me personally, Kingpin, have witnessed introduce a record and have never played no more than 10 seconds to it. Do that for 2 or 3 weeks. Tease the club with the hypest part of it and give you the intro and give you the beat and then switch into something else and kind of tease you and be like, man, what was that? What were y'all doing? And I've seen them do that before social media. And then I've seen what social media helped us introduce. It helped us take, everybody's got a camera now. So now the UGC. So when you play a record.
What does UGC stand for?
User generated content, right? That's that earned media value, right? This is when when people are in the club and your song comes on and they got the bottles and they told the DJ, man, that bottle girl, when that song drops, bring my bottles out and dance around. Or when me and my girls are in the club, me and my partners in the club, or we're doing whatever, we're at the game and this song comes on and we turn the camera on. That's that UGC, that earned media value, right? That's worth something. And it's more than just a post. It's worth more than just an engagement. And it's worthy of your engagement. It's worthy of you liking, commenting, sharing, leaving a video reel. These are all things that, none of the artists that you've seen become successful had to do. None of them did. They all did their own version of it. I don't think Lil Durk ever made one video telling people to go download his record. Right. But he made 50 videos at bus stops and places of the places where his ops had been deceased from. I don't believe that King Von ever told one person, my new song is out, go download. What do y'all think about my new single? But he would make tweets at 2 and 3 in the morning about some of the malicious activities that he was or wasn't doing. So however you got to choose to engage with whatever your audience is, just stop thinking that everything has to be a commercial, right? Because you could take you going to the studio and use that as a piece of content to share. You're going to need to share content for your record because the point of getting a record on radio is to sell records. And that's why I said all of that to say the DJ is probably the most undervalued, least respected on the position of the totem pole in regards to services, right? In the eyes of most people, the DJs are already paid by the promoter to play at the club or the club owner. And Jeezy don't got to give you no money. And Drake ain't got to send you no money. And when Playboy Cardi dropped Evil Jordan, he ain't had to give you no money. The people said it was hot and you had to play it. As a matter of fact, I would like to know how many DJs, Tidal, Apple Music, if any one of you two Shout out to Apple Music for integrating the DJ software now
Facts.
that Tidal was already doing. But Tidal and Apple Music, if any of our reps, call your people at Tidal. I would like to know how many more DJs added Young LA's Ain't I to their Serato set since that record caught a viral moment. How many DJs had to go and re-download it, took it out of their archive, took it out of their set because it was a record they hadn't played anymore, and then had to go re-find it. I would like to know if that number is even anywhere existed. I mean, sure, we can see the streams, but I would like to see how many more downloads it had, right? Because that's going to be interesting for us. And it should be interesting for you guys because you guys want to reach those Playboi Carti-esque moments. You guys want to drop an album so fire that you turn around a week later and drop 4 more songs entitled those 4 songs. Sorry for the wait. My bad. Didn't mean to keep y'all waiting. Here go 4 more for you, right? Because the people spoke. And that's what my 12-year-old nephew ran up on me like, yo, you heard the new Playboi Carti? And he dropped it rolling loud. One of those guys that had that moment, you know what I mean? And we haven't done an audit on him. I'm sure I will when I get some time just to see how it's doing. Shout out to Slim. Shout out to the whole campaign out there and the whole team doing their thing. But, you know, artists, if you want to get your spins up, you got to get your relationship up. If not, you got to get your chips up. Because at the end of the day, you're going to need to get into these cities. Before you invest in a radio campaign, I would suggest pulling up a map of the U.S., identifying what state you're in, okay? If you saw episode number 1, I shared on the screen all of the different regions and sections of the United States and how they're broken up, okay? You can look on a map where you are and then figure out what cities are within 5 to 6 hours from you. That's take you a day to drive there. You'll spend the day there and then come back, right? If you don't have the money to spend the day there, 3 hours from you, so you can spend a half a day driving there, do what you got to do, and then drive back home, all right? That's going to tell you 3-hour circumference, right? It's going to give you a circle of where you can go. Now you got to use Google and common sense, baby. Now you can go to websites like radiostationlocator.com, and you can go in there and type in the city name, right? And then hit enter. And it's going to give you a list of all of the call letters. It's going to give you a list of the signal antenna, right? The reach. Is it a 50-mile radio station? Is it a 100-mile radio station? How far does this antenna reach? That's going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff. So now when you want to run ads, you can run ads in the markets where those specific, I don't know how tricky you want to get, but I know that the more information you have and the more you're willing to do the work, once you have that information, the more successful you will see. You may not see immediate success, but you will see fruitful long-term success. And that is what we're talking about. That is what ownership is. That's why every artist is getting an offer to check right now for their music.
Yes.
Right? And the ones that have ownership are the ones that you're hearing cashing out on those $300 million deals. And the ones that don't, those are the ones that are online complaining about they don't have no money and they're living in their cars and they're doing all of this stuff because they didn't establish ownership.
And unfortunately, we hear about the big supersized deals, and then their deals getting done for legendary acts for 20,000, 15,000 catalog buys.
You know, shout out to people like Bobby D Presents that, you know, puts on, you know, 15, 20 major show dates a year. At least, right? We're talking the likes of Lil Wayne's, the Kings of the West. We're talking Exhibits, Bone Thugs. We're talking some of the biggest names, right?
Yes, sir.
He wouldn't be able to make money if these people didn't have a draw.
Right.
And now you're adding in other elements. You add in merchandise deals. You add in the possibility to go viral. If you can incorporate any one of those different aspects into anything long-term, then all of those guys collectively will see that much more success. If your record is doing X amount now that you don't have any of your stuff together, when you start doing your stuff, look at it. Did you notice an increase? Did you get an extra 20 because you posted an extra 2 times on Instagram? If you did, try posting 4 times. See if you can get an extra 40. And that's the key to this. And that's how the easiest way to get spins from anybody.
Don't look cool? What if it don't look cool if I post 5 times?
It's not going to look cool, OG. The ugly face, when you're doing the work, when you're growing your beard out, it doesn't look cool, OG. You look cool when you get your beard. Right? When you're growing your locks out, OG, it doesn't look cool when you got the short hair. When you're going bald, OG, it doesn't look cool. You gotta do all kinds of different stuff, right? So it's not about looking cool, man. Right? Once you realize how quick people forget about you, you'll stop living to impress them. right? And that's why being an artist that has a moment and keeping that moment. Shout out to Jelly Roll. I just seen somebody asked him, "What are you scared of?" And he was like, "I don't know if I should be this transparent. I'm scared of losing it." Hurt me because of what he said. I never had nothing. And now that I've had something for a little while, please, God, don't let me lose this.
God,
before, the attitude was, man, I'll lose it all and come right back. I don't care.
Right.
But when you've taken consistent W's and, he's like, I feel the most secure in my life, in my relationship with my kids, with my wife, my business. Shout out to him.
Salute Jelly Roll.
All of the work, Grammy, Artist of the Year, you name it, right? 10, 15 years after putting in work, my boy.
Sonny Finley on me a phone.
Oh, my goodness, man. Shout out to the people that believe in themselves and learn from the mistakes they made. See, that's the key. Do it your way, but learn from your mistakes. And the only way you're going to learn from your mistakes is if you start to track and measure. And unfortunately, we don't live in the day of the notepad and pen no more, OG. Back in the days, your folks, they had a note. They could write stuff down. Nowadays, you got to pull out your notes, and you got to pull out spreadsheets, and you got to open Google, and you got to do all of this other digital stuff that you'll forget. You'll forget in the midst of that. Pulling out your phone, your thought is gone. Now you got to learn how to do voice text. And it's just so much more that you have to do to get your idea out. But those are excuses.
Excuses?
Those are excuses. You have a phone. That's the reason why you should, because you can type it in there. You have access to Gmail. That's the reason why you should. So all of those things you gave me were excuses. And excuses are the reason why you're not getting your song on radio. Like, I don't have time to go get a clean record. I didn't know I needed a clean record. What are DJ drops? What's a mix show? Why I got to go to the cities? Why do I got to go do all of this? And that's a sign of...
I'm going to get the engineer to make me a clean version. He just going to bleep the words out.
And if that's all you have is a 2-track mix...
If that's the concern you have for your art that you want to present to the world, that you expect to compete with the top performing artists at radio, if your concern is done, I'll just put it out like this, and I'll pay somebody to clean it up for me, and then I'm just pay that dude, and because I believe it's gonna happen, then it's more power to you, because you just might have to do that same thing a few times, and every time you do it, it's gonna cost you a fair amount of money. That's where we get a lot of the bitter people,
right,
who've allowed their passion and belief in themselves.
Right.
Because to succeed, we need a delusional level of belief. Of
course. And you got to be crazy enough to believe in yourself.
Yes, exactly.
To be successful.
Yes. For these purposes right here, with the music and with the radio, it's definitely a look before you leap.
Okay.
And then even if you leap, keep track. However you got to keep track to remember. It's not to hold grudges. It's to remember what actually benefited you when you land. If you land perfectly, then you want to remember how you jumped and where you jumped from in case you got to make the same leap again.
All right.
If you land like Evel Knievel and end up in a body cast, you want to remember what part you could have did better so that when you're out of this cast and you get back on that bike, you're able to complete the jump next time.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because that's going to segue into the cheat sheets for this week. I'm giving them cheat sheets every week, OG. Every episode, we're giving them something. This week, I'm going to give them the DJ blast list. Okay, what does that mean? That means I'm going to give you a format of all of the information that you should be providing or you should have available when you get ready to service your DJs. Okay, I'm going to give you a list of DJ names, no email addresses, DJ names, and an email address for you to return all of those DJ drops and your song, and Direct to DJ is going to send it to all of those DJs on us. Yeah. So for anybody interested, you're going to look down below in the comments, and there's going to be a checklist of information that you should have, right? There's going to be a list of DJ names.
Salute Direct to DJ.
Right? And you're going to have to record audio and video drops for all of those DJs, and then provide all of that information for one single. And we're in turn going to take that information, we're going to get those drops and that song to that list of DJs and help you build a relationship and get you started on your way to making sure that if you don't get radio spins, you can get some type of spins.
For listening to the podcast.
All they got to do is tune in every single week. Every week they tune in, OG. I'm going to give them a checklist. I'm going to show them how I use that information and why joining the academy would probably be in their best interest. I'm going to show them what they'll have access to once they've maintained their alumni eligibility. I'm going to give them all of the free game that you will not blow a gasket or have a coronary fit about. Because in order for us to see change, we have to be the change. We have to initiate the change that we hope to see in the music industry. And in this business, where pride and ego is a major thing, every DJ wants to be responsible for breaking the next hit record. And the reason most DJs don't have your hit record is because not only do you either not give it to them, but if you give it to them, it's improper. And they need this cheat sheets. They need it because for episodes 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, this is going to be a major part for them.
Okay, cool beans. Couple of things. Salute DJ Cash. Salute DJ Young Fro. When you're talking about.
Salute DJ Calvin. Calvin the coordinator.
Oh, salute Calvin the coordinator.
Knock it off. Record promoter, radio DJ, event coordinator.
We can't start shouting out DJs. We're going
to be here forever.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ferrari Simmons. Shout out to DJ Omeezy. Shout out to Tony Neal.
Salute Legend Gary Archer.
Yeah, man. Salute DJ J Love. Yeah, man. The list is endless. Salute DJ Kim Yu from up in New Jersey, man. Salute all of the core DJs, all of the Coalition DJs, all of the Stamped in the Streets DJs, all of the Violator DJs. Shout out to all of the DJs. Anybody with those those 2 big letters in front or after their name, DJ. If this is what you do and you're working towards breaking records, not just playing records, salute you, man. Salute you. If you out here finessing these young kids, hopefully they'll tag us. If a DJ has got over on you, let's get messy. If a DJ has got over on you, tag them in the comments. We're going to figure out how to get to the solution.
You didn't let me shout out my partner, bro, before you did this.
Come on, who?
Tony Neal.
We shouted out. That was one of the first names I screamed out was Tony Neal on the core DJs, man. Shout out to the triple OG, quadruple OG.
Okay, boom. So, now.
Shout out Baby Drea, Stickle Bush, the big DM.
You got to stop, bro.
I'm sorry, bro. Shout out DJ Cube.
You going to get me cussed
These are
out.
my partners, bro. Kansas City Cash.
Get me cussed out, bro.
Moose Harris, man. Come on, bro. Who else you got, bro? I already said Shane.
You going to get DJ.
Killer K.
Shout out my partner.
DJ Headbuzzer. Come on, bro.
Shout out my partner. DJ Be Easy.
Don't Be Easy. Come on, man. Chill Will.
And then.
Double D.
Double D.
Come on, man. Roots Queen.
Roots Queen.
All right.
If you keep saying names, I ain't going to have
we ain't going to stop.
Shout out UGK's official DJ. Yeah. DJ Dobie D.
Yeah. Shout out Corey Bo.
Definitely DJ Church.
Yeah, DJ Church.
DJ Church. So look, we're going to talk about college radio directory somewhere down the line. Because we got to end this. It's about time.
We need to invite college radio directory on, and so they can walk us through. Maybe we can get that on one of the next 4 to 5 episodes. I want to have the distributor. I want to have the pub collector. And I want to have college radio directory. And I may ask one of our radio promoter friends to come in with the ski mask on, with the voice hidden, and see if they'll be willing to really talk about some of this stuff. Like, I got some guys that trust me enough that'll trust me with. They know that I know. They know that I know already. It ain't my business to tell. But I'm gonna see if we can get some of these people to come in with the, you know what I'm saying, with the ski mask on, in the dark room with the hidden voice, and let them talk about some of this stuff. So if y'all want to see that type of comment, that stuff, let us know in the comments.
Because I don't know, and I got to bring my gold record in.
We gotta bring.
It's in the truck.
Oh, it's in the truck.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice, very nice. We got to spice up humble beginnings.
But he still never gave me my
Can I say this to you? Can I tell this to you?
Talk to me.
The people may not know this, but we're recording everything on iPhones.
Yes, we are.
Audio, video, everything. Editing is done on a Mac. Everything is iPhone product, Mac product.
Yes.
Because we said we wanted to get started, so we didn't want to wait. Right. We are looking and open for investors and sponsors. If there's any companies out there that feel that they can align with our brand and our message and want to help us reach more people, send us a message, send us a DM. You know, we're looking for people to, and if you want to donate, if you want to give us microphones so we can give better quality game to the people, if you guys want to donate some cameras or whatever it is, we're not shooing away any help or any support in any facet. We need it all. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share everything on social media. The more people we're able to reach, the more the game that we can change together. And, you know, I think that's important.
Yes, it is.
Community.
artrefsoul.com.
Yeah.
Join the Artist Academy. That would be laylow.com
/Artist Academy. Sign up for the updates. You're going to get updates from there.
Yep. Join the Art Ref Soul newsletter. And
shout out to Substack. We have Uncut Game on Substack, real funky. So all of those links can be found in the description. Visit Linktree. All of our links are on there. We got a Feature FM link. You know, we got our show links, all of our episode links. If you guys are listening to us on any of the platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Pandora, Deezer, whatever you listen to podcasts at, thank you very much. Make sure you guys swing on over to YouTube. This may be the first episode. I think we're going to be caught up enough where this may be the first episode that the people are going to get a chance to listen to it first and then watch it
Yes.
on YouTube a week later. So the people that listen to our audio podcast are going to get all of our episodes a week first, and then they're going to be able to enjoy the videos the next week. And I think that's going to be important because some of these videos they're not going to want to miss.
Cool.
All of them they're not going to want to miss, but some is must-see TV.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right. So tap in with RF Soul for more info on anything and anything like that and everything.
Yeah.
I'm Tony. I'm the Connect Guidry.
It's your boy Kingpin, a.k.a. Rapjuggernaut, and this is the Uncut Game Podcast.